So in this video, I'm going to show you how to be a wingman. I'm not going to cover everything. Instead, this is going to be some unedited gameplay footage of a tactical engagement that my squadron recently did, involving an attack on a nuclear plant. And as the flight's going on, I'm going to give you some stream of consciousness style narration and let you know everything that's going through my head, why I'm doing certain things in the flight, and, even why I'm looking at certain things in the cockpit. So, what is this flight? Well, it's 4 ships, all human, and it involves a nap-of-the-earth approach to a nuclear plant that's in North Korea, a pop-up attack onto the target, and an egress, also using terrain masking, also nap-of-the-earth. And the idea here is that we're going to approach the target undetected, very heavily defended target. There's multiple SA-2s and SA-3s, and SA-6 right to the southeast, and some AAA. So we're going to approach the target masked. We're going to pop up on the target and drop GBUs on it. The target itself, the main target for myself at least, is going to be the nuclear reactor. And I'm number 2 in the flight. I'm the wingman of the flight lead. Need to make sure that he survives and that he's supported. We're probably going to be attacking from the south, offsetting about 20 or 30 degrees, pulling and then dropping the bombs. You see here the target's very heavily defended. This the immediate threats on the target area is this AAA battalion that we're looking at now. Has some S-60s, KS-19s, radar guided AAA, and then to the southeast there's a SA-6 battalion with an active radar. To the south we have a SA-3 overwatching the target area. To the southeast by about 40 miles, we have Kumni Air Base, which has a squadron of MiG-21 Foxtrots. And there's also word that there might be MiG-23s coming from the northwest. Loadout, we have 2 GBU-31s, 2 tanks, centerline jammer, 3 AIM-120 Charlies, and an AIM-9X. That said, let's get started. So when you first get in, you have a few responsibilities. Number 1 is to tell them that you're in the pit, and that just means, hey, I'm in the cockpit, I've loaded into the game. Next thing is, you're seeing I'm doing here is I'm setting up the arming delays of my bombs.
Roger, got you.
The worst thing that could happen is getting to the target area and then the bombs don't come off or they don't explode for whatever reason.
Alright, Falcon, taxi.
So we're going to make sure that we set our arming delays. I'm also going to turn on my HMCS, turn on my DED data, and really importantly, I'm going to turn on my radar altimeter. And I know that's important in this flight because we're going to be doing some low altitude stuff. It's really important to know your true altitude.
Falcon 1-1, ready for departure.
Turning on that now.
Falcon 1-1, ready for departure.
The lead called for taxi, so I'm just taxiing behind him.
Taxi, runway 36. Hold short.
Looking off bore side here, and then I'm turning off my HMCS.
Falcon,
So I can clearly see the lead once we get airborne.
Taxi clear of the runway.
Two-ship departures, it's taking your active
So we call for 2-ship departures. This means the entire element, 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 are going to take off at the same time. And since he said he's taking active left, I'm going to take the right side behind him, diagonally behind him to the right. It's important that you don't pass the lead when you're taxiing to position. I'm going to wait for him to get into position, and come up behind him.
Falcon 1-2, Seoul Tower. Taxi clear of the runway.
Set. Tell him I'm set.
Alright, brakes on, 80%.
And takeoff roll, you usually put your brakes on,
Brakes off, and
you let the engine roll a bit, and then you full burn. And that's what we're doing now. I'm letting the lead stay in front of me the entire time. I'm not passing the lead. I don't turn my afterburner on until he's clearly rolling in front of me. When I get airborne, my first order of business is to maintain visual contact with the lead and try to get into formation. The default formation is a finger 4, so unless the lead says otherwise, it should always be on the lead's left, diagonally behind him to the left. In the case of you being number 2.
350, right,
Falcon 1-3, hold short. Falcon 1-4, Soul Tower.
Okay, brakes
Taxi
on,
clear
throttle
of the runway.
80%, brakes up 3, 2, 1 now, full burn 3, 2, 1 now.
Normally, when you do a takeoff, you're about 10 degrees nose up and you full burn to 350. But the main thing here is that you remain in formation with the lead. So I saw that the lead wasn't pitching up, so I maintained visual contact with him, and I go off of his wing. You're always off of the lead's wing, no matter what. You're not flying on your own. You're not navigating.
Leads
Falcon
350, 5 degrees nose up, passing
Resume
2
navigation.
Let's call it an informative call.
Falcon
Elementary
1-4, hold short. Falcon
Whenever the lead gives an order, you want to acknowledge it, but if it's an informative call, you can just acknowledge it yourself, but you don't have to say it on the radio.
4 auto burn.
Falcon 1, finger 4.
So he said the lead said Falcon 1 finger 4, which means Falcon 1 flight, go finger 4. My response was 2 saddled, which means 2, I acknowledge you. That's my call sign. So I say 2. Saddled means I'm in formation already. So he knows from that information that not only do I acknowledge him, but I'm also in formation. And I could also follow that up by telling him that I'm visual to his left 5, which would mean if you look to your 5 o'clock, you'll see me there.
Hey, I don't know what happened.
So right now, one of the wingmen is having a technical issue, so I'll just talk about what's going on here. So the whole purpose of the sort of dynamic between the wingman and the lead. My job and your job as a wingman is to maintain visual contact with the lead, fly in formation. That's pretty much it. That's like the basic role of a wingman. Fly in formation, maintain visual on the lead. Okay? Your job is not to navigate, and it's not to sort contacts, and it's not to employ weapons until you've been told to by the lead. Your job is to protect the lead and to support the lead.
Falcon 1 fence, leads 113, music on.
Fence at 113, music on.
Freeze fence in 112.
So the lead just said fence, which means put your master arm on, turn your exterior lights off, and otherwise prepare for combat. It means you're going over the fence, so to speak, into enemy territory, and that you need to prepare for combat. So my response was my call sign followed by my fuel status, and he also said music on, which means put your jammer on. So my response was 2, my fuel status, and then music on.
Yeah, I'm good.
Which means I acknowledge you, fencing in, and then also my jammer's on.
Okay, 4, good fence. And music on.
And we can see here the rest of the flight's actually stripped out of formation, which is actually bad. I'm the only one who's in formation right now, and the other 2 guys are sort of out of formation because the technical issues of one of the wingmen.
1-1, Sentry 1, picture clear.
Freeze level.
Leads level 10,000, speed 350.
So that,
pushing
again,
first
that's
entry.
another informative call. You don't have to acknowledge that. It's just for your own information sort of call. This entire time, my eyes are fixed. They're sort of padlocked on the lead, so I'm glancing to the right the entire time I'm flying.
Flight, push it up 4.
Say again?
Flight, push it up, speed 450.
So he said,
Free.
he said something I didn't understand that I said say again, and he said push it up to 450, which means basically, obviously, bring it up to 450 knots. But again, those orders don't matter. It's not like that order means you should immediately go to 450 knots. It means this is what I'm doing as the lead, and you should be prepared to meet my speed. Because again, your job as a wingman is not to navigate. You need to stay in formation. So if he says we're going to check left or whatever, that means you're going to stay on his wing, but be prepared to check left. This entire time, I'm watching him. Now, if he starts sliding towards me on my canopy, that means that I'm closing on him. If he starts sliding away, it means that he's going faster than me. And if he's relatively stable as he is now, it means we're going relatively the same speed.
Falcon 1, radar.
Choose naked.
Freeze naked.
4 naked.
Did you say turn the radar off?
That's firm.
Okay, 2 snooze.
Freeze snooze.
So what happened there is the lead said something, I didn't understand it. I thought he said radar picture, so I thought he wanted me to tell him if I had any radar contacts, and then clarified that, and he wanted us to actually turn our radar off because we're going to be approaching. We want to be approaching undetected, so we're approaching without our radar on. This way, if there are interceptors in the air,
14 miles, steer 2.
we're less likely to be detected by them, and they'll have to spot us visually. So I pressed the override button on my FCR. We're now radar silent.
Still got one by at 16.
This entire time, I'm focused on the lead, and if he starts to slide away from me, I increase my speed a bit. If he starts to slide towards me, I bring my speed down a bit.
Or correction, quiet mode.
I want him to be fixed on my canopy and not moving.
Freeze and override.
That means that we're relatively going the same speed.
Sorry, what?
And if he gets a little too far away, I'll maybe kick in the burner for like 3 or 4 seconds just to gain some speed, and then I'll bring the throttle back down. So this...
Alright, Falcon 1, flight idle, nose down, 25 degrees, looking for 500 AGL.
So now what we're doing is we're going to go nap of the earth now. So I acknowledge him when he says go flight idle, nose down 35 degrees.
Altitude.
And this entire time, I'm worried about 2 things: my airspeed and my relation to him. I don't want to push in front of him, and I also want to stay in formation. So I'm trying to maintain formation and also watch my airspeed.
Flight check right, steer 3.
It says check right. So what do? I switch to steer. I switch to steer,
4.
and I prepare to turn. But my main thing is I'm keeping him on the wing, or rather, I'm being on his wing. I actually deploy my speed brakes here for a second because I was overtaking him a bit too much. So I just cut my throttle all the way back, deployed my speed brakes for about 5 seconds.
Pull up. Pull up.
As you can see here,
Falcon 1, mil pal.
3 mil.
as you can see here, my head is up the entire time. I'm not looking down at my instruments really. I'm just keeping my eyes on the lead and on my HUD, especially my flight path marker, making sure I'm not hitting the ground. Also looking at the airspeed, and I'm making sure that I'm not overtaking the lead.
Pull up. Pull up.
I know that if I stay in formation, the lead will bring me to the target, and then I'll hit the target. So I'm not worrying about anything like that. I'm not worrying about navigation, where we are. The lead's worrying about that. He's the one who's looking down at the sensors. He's the one who's looking at the HSD and seeing where we're going. I'm just trying to stay on his wing.
Pull up. Pull up.
And this will take some practice.
20 miles, steer 3.
Staying in formation like this and watching your airspeed and everything like that, it's something that's going to take a lot of practice. But just keep that trick in mind, or that sort of rule of thumb, that if he's sliding towards you, then you're going too fast. If he's sliding away, you're going too slow. And if he's on your cockpit or if he's on your canopy still, then you're going just right.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
And although it looks like my head's centered, in real life what I'm doing is my eyes are pointing to the right. So my peripheral to the left is actually I'm pretty blind to what's on the left. I mean, I'm occasionally glancing over there, but it's mostly just sticking my eyes on the lead. And also, of course, making sure, looking at my flight path marker, making sure that I'm not hitting the ground, and making sure that I'm at a low altitude.
10 miles, steer 3.
We're 10 miles to the pre-IP.
pull up, pull up, pull up.
You see here,
pull
I'm
up,
glancing
pull
down
up,
a bit
pull
just to
up.
see our current flight status. I wanted to look at my HSD and see where we were approximately, but it's not really a preoccupation of mine.
Pull up, pull up, pull up.
Falcon 1, check with steer 4 IP.
So when he says check steer 4, I acknowledge it, press my rocker switch to the next steer point, and prepare to turn. He's going trail. So I just made a decision there on my own to change the formation because I know that we're about to run in on the target. So I said two's going trail, which basically means I'm going into trail formation. This way when we pop up, we won't hit into each other accidentally if we need to turn. I don't want to be offset from him when we're going to be running into the target area. And since he didn't say anything or try to correct me, I'm going to assume that that was an okay decision on my part.
Falcon 1, reference targets.
So right here, I'm turning my radar back on, mainly because we're about to run into the target area, and we might have interceptors there.
Altitude, altitude.
And we start to get pinged by the first radars.
Pull up, pull up, pull up.
I switch into air to ground.
Pull up.
I'm a little worried about the lead here being so high, so I try to tell him to bring it down. Again, because you're trying to look out for your lead, make sure he doesn't get killed.
Pull up.
The lead's often, thinking about tactics and stuff and not really thinking about stuff like that.
Mud 6. Mud 6.
Pull up, pull up, pull
Mud
up,
6, 1
pull
o'clock.
up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Hey, lead, watch your angels there. Pretty high.
3's mud, 3.
Now I'm going to start looking around for threats while...
Lead spike, SA3 defense.
So a Sam's been fired at the lead. I didn't know this at the time.
Pull up, pull up, pull up.
I'm going to stay with you.
Smoke trail 2 o'clock.
Sam, right? See a Sam.
Sam
Call it
right,
out to the
right,
flight.
left.
In the back, someone got fired upon.
I'm with you.
Again, it's very tempting to try to break off and go for the target. You don't want to do that, though. You want to stay with your lead and support your lead. So right now, I'm just padlocked on the lead, trying to stay in good formation.
Pull up.
Trying to stay low so I don't get Sam's fired at me.
Pull up, pull up.
Terrain masking here.
Sam launch.
The lead calls out a Sam launch, but we're terrain masking, so
Sam launch 3
gets
o'clock.
defeated.
It's ballistic.
Pull up.
Now we're about to do a pop-up attack.
Pull up, pull up.
I'm going to want to make sure I'm really close to the lead now.
Lead's cranky.
Hey, let's pull, man. I'm with you.
Pulling up. I let him know that I'm with him. This way he's confident of what he's doing.
3's
So I'm just staying in formation. I don't even see the target right now. I try to look down to see if I can see it quickly, but my main thing is to stay in formation. Flight idle here, so I can slow down because I was overtaking the lead a bit. The target comes into view. I'm going to wait for him to release, then I'm going to release, but I don't want to hit him with my bombs.
CPU released.
Bombs away.
CPU released.
Watching my altitude here, make sure I'm above 2,000 because I don't want to get hit by my bombs. I say, hey, fluffer left,
CPU released.
because I'm reminding him that we need to egress left.
Flare.
Left, 120. Or,
Flare.
I'm sorry, correction, 350.
Chaff, flare.
Oh shit!
Let's have a
Who the
mid-air
fuck was that?
collision
Watch where
here.
you're going. Hey, whoever's in a right turn, you need to knock it off.
Mud 6 for
Copy.
Chaff, flare.
Sentry 1, Falcon 1-1.
Put my radar back on override because I figure we're going to start train masking again.
Sentry 1, picture clear. Choose rejoin.
I let him know that I'm back in formation after I burn up to him a bit.
Falcon 1, leads at 083.
2's 066.
3085.
Lead just called for an ops check, which is usually you say your fuel and then also you say your weapon status.
To heading 280.
T. Jessen.
3 copies heading to 80.
4 copy.
See, I'm turning here to the left so I can always keep him at my 1 o'clock position and
Pull
keep
up,
him within
pull
visual
up.
contact.
Alright, leads still Buster. Let's go and climb up to Angels 25, heading 280. Leads 10 degrees north.
Why are we going to Angels now? We're going to get intercepted.
We're outside threat range.
So normally you wouldn't be questioning your lead like this, or at least you wouldn't unless they were directly putting themselves in danger, but I am the senior pilot here, and the lead is a bit of a new guy, so, or he's not a new guy, but he's not the most experienced leader, so I tried to ask him why we're going up to altitude at this time, since it doesn't make any tactical sense, and we still should be remaining low during the egress. So he's decided he's going to do a medium altitude egress, which is fine, but it'll just increase our chances of being intercepted. He's the boss, since he's the lead, so I'm just going to remain in formation and support him.
Yeah, Falcon 1, continue climb 10,000.
Should we come out of the silent mode?
Say
You want us to come out of the silent mode?
we'll check left to 230 here in a minute.
Sentry 1, Falcon 1-1. Request vector to tanker. Falcon 1, Sentry 1, tanker, Canteen 1, bullseye. 095, 100 miles. TACAN channel. 29 Yankee.
Light check left 190.
2.
3.
4.
Actually, correction, 20.
3.
4.
So we've been flying around at medium altitude, and we're now about to be intercepted, much as I feared.
1, Falcon 1-1. Picture. Sentry 1, Falcon 1-1. Request vector to track. Falcon 1-1. Sentry 1. Picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bullseye. 290, 30 miles, 26,000. Falcon 1, Sentry 1, nearest hostile, MiG-23, bullseye, 290, 30 miles, 26,000.
M1 check right 230.
So the lead says check right 230.
Check with the
Probably means he's going to commit to. Those bandits. Being in visual contact is even more important in this case than ever before. So if we enter a dogfight, it's very easy for a bandit to get onto the lead's tail and then kill him.
Element 2, continue heading 165.
Just contact.
I let the lead know that I'm contact, which means I have contact on the group that was
Roger,
just
leads 10.
declared by the AWACS. And now the lead will sort out the targets and assign
He's
them.
beaming us. Looks like he has no.
So we're committed to this group.
Right, heading as
Engaging this group.
270.
The lead is sorted on the front target.
Roger. Sounds good. Element 1 gets lead shoot.
So he said, Element 1 gets sorted, which means I'm not going to sort. You're on your own. Sort your own targets too. So I take the MiG-23's wingman, which is to the left, and I let the lead know that.
MiG-23 is confirmed, nose hot, 303-017, Angels 24, nose hot. Fox 3.
1, Fox 3 long.
So I'm having actually an issue here with my radar. There's a bug in BMS where if you put it in override, sometimes it doesn't.
Radar's broken.
It has some issues.
Roger.
So I'm trying to fix that right now.
I'm in 2, get to.
Copy that. 3's sorted on the trail, the left contact.
Roger that. Bandit is now with Fox 3 medium.
Finally find the issue.
And then I'll, lead's going to
23 spike total.
I got it. Fox 3.
Find the contact. Fire a missile at him.
Fox 3 medium.
And then now my first thought is I want to support this missile. Once it goes pitbull, I want to rejoin with the lead.
2 clears. Or, element 2 clears.
2,
3 copies.
Pitbull.
So now the missile's pitbull. Now what I want to do is I'm looking around trying to find the lead.
Right.
Chaff flare.
4.
If you lose sight of the lead, it's possible that he can get engaged.
Take this target. Stay on him. The other one just went nose hog again.
I actually decreased the
let's go to
HSD
grinder
size, trying to find him on the
Element
HSD.
2, once you guys get past 5 miles, pass our
I use HSD as a point of reference, and then I use that to find the lead in the sky.
2 is Nails 23-6.
Right.
It's 4 Elston.
Chaff
Alright, element
flare.
1, check back, heading 2-3.
Three is contact faded. No joy on the bandit.
2,
The lead's turning
2
into
Nails
me.
16, west.
Taliban.
Nails 23.
So the lead's turned into me, and he's going to go and try to engage those bandits, so I'm turning back in. I'm going to try to stay
Chaff
on
flare.
his 6 and support him.
Chaff flare.
Fox 2.
Chaff flare. Low.
I'm gonna go get this fucker.
I got him. I'm on him.
So this is really bad comms right now, but still worth watching, I guess. So I found the bandit, and the lead is actually naked on the bandit. He doesn't know where the bandit is. The other element's trying to engage
Roger.
the bandit, but they're ineffective.
Visual.
You guys married?
I say visual, which means I'm visual to the
please.
lead. I have visual contact on him, and I also
3.
am in formation.
Hey, go defensive now. Head southeast.
2,
Copy that.
2, I got a shot.
Let the lead know I have a shot. The lead is currently no joy on the target and no contact.
2's committed.
I'm going to use my heater.
Fox 2.
Use a heater on the target because I know there's friendlies nearby, and I don't want the AIM-RAM to go berserk and kill a friendly.
2 Fox 3 close.
Actually, fire Fox 3 close.
Flash.
Pitbull.
Because at that range it wouldn't matter.
4 is bingo.
Chop.
Now that we've killed the bandit, my immediate thought is where's the lead, and I need to rejoin on the lead.
Sentry 1, Falcon 1-1. Request vector to threat. Falcon 1, Sentry 1. I don't have any targets.
Falcon 1 R2. Falcon 1 say
2
is 0281 radar. 2's visual 2 6.
3's 0511 radar.
So I used a little trick there, which is I wasn't sure where the lead was visually, so I locked him up on the radar, and then I used my HUD to reference his position. You can do that, you know, it's a good trick. If you don't know where the lead is, but you know he's on your radar, or you know he's on the HSD, just lock him up, find him that way, just as you would in enemy contact.
1-1. Request vector to tank. Falcon 1, Sentry 1, Tanker, Canteen 1, Bullseye 095.
So that's pretty much the end of this video. I hope it was useful. I hope it was insightful. Please let me know if I didn't cover anything. I know it's very vague and very basic. And the reason for that is because there's so much material to cover that it's pretty much impossible.
3.
For the individual like wingman tactics, you know, 2-ship tactics and stuff like that, I'm going to refer you to a book in the video description. It's sort of like a standard text on BFM tactics and air-to-air combat tactics. I didn't want to go into that in this video, mainly because it would be a 20-hour long video, if not longer. What I mainly wanted to convey in this video is just the need for mutual support, the need for following the lead, remaining in contact with the lead, and trusting the lead. Not trying to be a navigator, not trying to be someone who is concerning tactics and things like that. You can do that as a lead, you can do that as an element leader, but as a wingman, your main job is to make sure that the lead survives and make sure that everyone gets home alive. So please leave feedback, let me know if there's anything I haven't covered, and I'll answer it in some questions or maybe in a follow-up video. Thanks.